Yes, I am married and have two grown daughters and four grandsons. So I'm well down that path. You are in Columbiana, Alabama, at the Shelby County Arts Council, in the heart of Alabama, right in the center of the state. The Shelby County Arts Council is a 501c3 nonprofit volunteer arts organization. We do a lot of programs where we go out of our doors into the streets, if you will, and then teach at-risk kids in the Juvenile Detention Center art and music. We go into schools that we determine that have an at-risk population and teach them arts and music and rudiments of different performing arts. That's sort of who we are as the Arts Council. A lot of people only know us by our location, which is this bricks and mortar location where we do performances and we teach art classes and we make beautiful pottery. So I'm what they call the executive director. Well, I mean, much like you guys, I was a teenager in the 70s, and much of the music that was popular in the 70s, Led Zeppelin, in my realm, Southern Rock, Allman Brothers, Wet Willie, all that sort of thing, was influenced by blues. So I guess it's fair to say that I discovered the blues backwards, if you will. I listened to that music and discovered where it came from and became fascinated with the roots of the rock music that I was listening to. And when I discovered that Nobody's Fault But Mine was by Blind Willie Johnson and not Led Zeppelin, I became fascinated with that idea, and in the process discovered that my parents, my dad in specific, was a huge blues and jazz fan, and then I became interested in his record collection. And then my art is, of course, my visual art is heavily influenced by the music that I'm interested in. Well, I'd like to think that I'm a musician, I've been playing music professionally or semi-professionally, however you want to define it, for the better part of 40 years. So we, in clubs and nightclubs, festivals, bar mitzvahs, small parties, juke joints in the region. I've been playing for the better part of 40 years, mostly blues-based music. So yeah, I guess I'm a musician. I guess in this neck of the woods, people would call me a front man. I predominantly sing, but I also am known for playing the harmonica. I think so. I mean, it's fair to say, I think Luke and I were talking about that earlier, it's fair to say that I was influenced by a lot of blues, rock, harp players, but I think the first person that caught my ear was a guy named Jimmy Hall. And Jimmy Hall is the front man for a Capricorn label Southern rock blues band called Wet Willie. Had a lot of hits in the 70s. And then I quickly found out that he was influenced by guys like Little Walter. And so I guess that would be some immediate influence as far as the harmonica goes. And Sonny Terry, for sure. I met Jimmy Hall, but most of the guys that I really lauded in retrospect, were dead even, when I discovered them. So didn't get to meet them. Well, you're opening up a real can of worms, aren't you? The authenticity of what, or the question of what is blues to you. I mean, a lot of people would say a white guy can't play the blues. I think most people, though, if they were being honest, would say that blues as an art form is a reflection of what we all experience in life, what we all have in common: life, death, heartbreak. And so the ability of the art form to poetically vent those common woes in a 12-bar or 16-bar or 8-bar form is it's just magical and if not addictive, you know what I'm saying? Maybe addictive is a good word. So as they say, the blues found me, and it's like an anesthetic for me. It's a drug for me. I can't quit playing it, and I can't quit thinking about it or listening to it. Yeah. Yes, I mean, I think that the part that you and I probably, because of our skin color, can't identify with, oppression based on ethnicity alone. and having to figure out ways to express your discontent with that, your rage, without killing yourself or killing somebody else, the byproduct of that is the blues, is the art form we love so much. If that makes sense. No, I don't. I mean, a lot of blues purists exist, and they, to me, they are sort of trying to be keepers of the art form and make it like some kind of museum piece in a box, and it's not that. We're old enough to remember when Stevie Ray Vaughan first came up, and he was slammed by a lot of purists, but we all know that he actually opened people's eyes to the validity of the art form. So, I mean, I don't think the popularity part of it, does it get sort of bastardized in the process? Yeah. But in the end, if more people discover who Howlin' Wolf is, or more people discover who Muddy Waters or Son House is, in the end, it's a good thing. I think that there's a danger in the Disneyfication, as you put it, of Clarksdale, and sort of taking away the ambiance of that place. But at the same time, if they can strike a balance, the more people, 10, 15 years from now, statistics show you and I will probably be dead. I don't mean to break the news to you, so the upside is we need for more people to discover the blues and the icons that we all hold dear. So if that's going to happen, we have to lay down our arms, so to speak, and compromise. So with regard to the Disneyfication of places like Clarksdale and Indianola or anywhere else that one might think is the Holy Grail, I think we gotta. It's a balance, man. Because at the same time, those people, those cats that me and you love, that are in Indianola, that are in in Iuka, Mississippi, or in it, they need for people to come hear them play and lay some money down. And so there's a compromise there. You have to market. George and I play at a very popular juke joint that's known globally called Gipp's Juke Joint. It was different 15 years ago. It has been somewhat Disneyfied, as you put it. At the same time, maybe a lot of people around the globe have discovered Gipp. At the same time, on the positive end, maybe people like Wynton Marsalis have come there on account of the fact that it got into the global spotlight. So I don't know, man. It's like it needs to be kept on balance, but it's maybe a necessary evil. Yeah. George and I actually, my songwriting partner George Dudley, are actually specifically all about that. We've had a program that's a branch out of the Shelby County Arts Council called Roots Music 101, where we go into anybody basically that will let us in, but alternative schools, juvenile detention centers, elementary schools, and we do a little program where we lace art history, specifically with regard to the blues, to popular music, and try to connect them back so that they know where they know that the syncopation of the rock and roll that they're listed to began with people like Bo Diddley, and Bo Diddley was influenced by Muddy Waters, and Muddy Waters was influenced by Son House, and Son House was influenced by Charlie Patton, and etc. So yeah, I think it's real important, and you don't even really have to be that clever to do it. You just have to make it a priority. If we leave, when you leave, all of us leave a legacy. So there's a lot of levels of that legacy. I would, with regard to my family, there's one thing, but with regard to what you and I are talking about, I would like for people to look at the Shelby County Arts Council, look at the areas where we have played, and see us as a aspect of a connector back to roots. So in other words, 15 years from now, I hope that the Shelby County Arts Council, if they want to put up a plaque to me, I hope that it's on a stage where blues guys are playing. How about that?
That would be so nice.
That would be cool. you know, maybe you guys will survive me and you'll be there. People of Europe, I mean you no harm. They check us out at 2Blue, that's the number 2, BLU, music.com. I guess we're one of hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions of guys that were byproducts of the baby boom who love the blues and who love the roots music that's connected to it. So if you're not already connected to it, then you need to start, man. Check out Muddy Waters, Son House, all those cats that Luke and Mark love and that I love. And I love you guys, so peace.
I'm rising early, wipe the sleep from my